Oh, good morning and welcome to the Morning Report. My name is Willie Lawson, the Morning Reporter's production of fightbackmedia.com, 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 and fightbackmediatv.com. Trust that you are well today. Also, before we get started, when's the last time you were on the website? I'll put the website in the description box because what we have done for your convenience is that we have put the Morning Report playlist on the front page of the website. So you don't have to go to YouTube. You don't have to bust out your YouTube account and just go to the website. Audio recordings for you, video recordings for you right there. And you can even watch them on your smartphone or your dumb phone or your, I don't know, mentally challenged phone, whatever you got. You can watch them right there on the fightbackmedia.com website. All right, here we go. There's always, when we use this statement, you just don't think people could be any stupider. You don't think it can get any worse. You know what that means, right? Someone goes, "Oh, my beer, right back," right? Right? Somebody else do that. We're going to talk about this place in Indiana that just doubled down on the most. I mean, they just must be really out of touch. Just double down on the most moronic thing that at this point a bar could ever double down on, unless they're really trying to change the culture of their bar, and I think they may be. So we'll talk about that. You've heard about the last couple of days that Disney has decided to sue Governor DeSantis and the transport the excuse me the uh, what is it, the tourism board, because they believe that they were attacked from a cultural sense for opposing the law, the parent rights bill that was passed, which you can read on the fightbackmedia.com website, which you can read right there. Just scroll down to the front of the first page, and all 7 pages of it are right there, all written in English. Hardly any of it written in legalese. Super easy for you to read, so that way you can get the truth about what that bill is about. All right, we're going to take a little break. We'll be back with the Morning Report. The Morning Report, again, is a production of fightbackmedia.com, 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 and fightbackmediatv.com. We'll be back right after these messages. Discover adventure flying. Chances are, if we asked you to name a sports car or a sports bike, you could do it. But what about a sport plane? The Icon A5 is meant not for commercial or commuter flight, but rather to enjoy the sheer adventure of flying. It turns flying from a mode of transportation to a sport. What flying was meant to be. So are you ready to start your A5 adventures? Owning an Icon A5 is as easy as flying. With a streamlined sales process, world-class customer service, and service and training partners across the country, purchasing and owning your A5 is a breeze. If you are interested in owning an A5, send your contact information to fightbackmedia@gmail.com. That's fightbackmedia@gmail.com. All right. You know, when you just don't, you, you think that reading the room is very important. If I am a bar or bar owner at this point, I'm probably just sort of chilling out. I may have some Bud Light that I already ordered. I'm not I'm not taking it out back and shooting it with a machine gun. I'm not. It's in the cooler. And if people want it, you just get it for them. That's it. If somebody says, "Hey man, give me a couple of cans of Bud Light," coming right up. That's it. And I'm not putting up with any BS in my bar. That if somebody orders it, they can order it. They can pay for it. That's fine. I'm not putting up with any arguing and screaming about it in my bar because this is a rational viewpoint. I'm not. Yeah, did I order it before? Do I have it? Yeah, I got it. Not promoting it, but there it is. If you want to order it, if you want some Bud Light and it has that dude's picture on it, okay. Have you noticed I'm not mentioning the dude's name? I'm not. But okay. Here's what I'm not doing. Um, the Fairfax Bar and Grill in Bloomington, Indiana, decided this. All right, this article is from PJ Media. We all know that Bud Light committed sort of Harry Carey by joining forces with an attention starved dudette in a dress. You know, Bud Light sales have hit the skids, 17% down. That in the past couple of weeks, that's a big deal. That's an owie. Now, will they stay that way? I don't know. Probably not, but owie. A few $1 million of loss. Um, yeah, it's been a sting. After what I'm sorry, it's got to be the worst, most tone deaf marketing decision ever. I love how the writer writes, since naming a diet lost candy AIDS. I think the candy came out before the disease, but that's pretty funny. The Fairfax Bar and Grill, located in a small Indiana college town, decided to invite people to their bar to openly discuss Bud Light's new marketing fiasco. Okay, so you invited people to the bar to talk about the scandal. Okay, but when people said they weren't down with the trans on the can marketing ploy, they were invited to pay their tab and get out. Yeah, you heard that. So you invite somebody to what the owners refer to as a local dive bar, but and only because dive bars are trendy. I don't think any of these people have ever actually been in a dive bar because you may get stabbed in a dive bar for sure. Um, but they were asked to pay their tab and get out. It seems that the Fairfax Bar and Grill, which owners refer to as a local dive bar, only wants to hear from people who are on board with a bearded lady on their suds. The bar released the following statement on the Facebook. We are tired of all the hate. We are very open to debate and discussion, and it's truly a shame that we can't have an open conversation about this important political and cultural topic. Bars, in our opinion, exist as public spaces where ideas should be exchanged. Unfortunately, due to all of the bigotry and hatred that has surfaced around the Bud Light controversy, any patron wanting to voice their concerns about the issue will be immediately asked to pay their bill and leave our establishment. Now, wait just 1 minute. You invited me to have an open, quote, end quote, discussion, quote, end quote, about what I thought about this. And when I said, nah, man, I can't, I, I can't go with that, then I'm a hater. I need to pay for my Heineken and get the hell out, right? That's what you're telling me. which is, frankly, in my opinion, typical. It's typical of the left. So the Fairfax Bar and Grill began to hemorrhage patrons, but they couldn't keep their hateful avocado toast chewing mouths shut. I love that, right? Because they can't help it. We are all, here's another statement. When they could have just left it as it was, but no. We're all aware of the controversy surrounding Bud Light. We support all people in this establishment, no matter who you are or how you identify. We will continue to sell Anheuser-Busch products because we don't care who they make special cans for. If you are intolerant of other humans of any kind, we ask you to keep your opinions to yourself. But we are tolerant. You should be tolerant of all kinds of people. We support all kinds of people. Should you feel the need to discuss this matter in public, you will be asked to leave. We will not tolerate intolerance here. I'm sorry, that's a funny phrase. So here's the deal. If you agree with us, you can hang out. But if you're not cool with the 24/7 trans ideology rammed down our neck, you're an awful person. And if you disagree with us, you can leave. That's what they're up to. Wow. I was thinking, are they really trying to just turn the place into like a trans bar? Are they trying to turn it into a gay bar? What are they trying to do? Do the owners not like making money? Do they not like the level of people who are their regulars, and they want to turn that over for some reason, or turn into something else? I'm guessing. I'm just guessing. What do you think? Write that down in the comments. Take a little break. We'll be back with more of the program right after these messages. Discover adventure flying. Chances are, if we asked you to name a sports car or a sports bike, you could do it. But what about a sport plane? Icon A5 is meant not for commercial or commuter flight, but rather to enjoy the sheer adventure of flying. It turns flying from a mode of transportation to a sport. What flying was meant to be. So are you ready to start your A5 adventures? Owning an Icon A5 is as easy as flying. With a streamlined sales process, world-class customer service, and service and training partners across the country, purchasing and owning your A5 is a breeze. If you are interested in owning an A5, send your contact information to fightbackmedia@gmail.com. That's fightbackmedia@gmail.com. Welcome back. My name is Willie Lawson. This is the Morning Report. The Morning Report is a production of fightbackmedia.com, 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 and fightbackmediatv.com. Thanks for being here. This is always going to be fun. Ron DeSantis, this dude back here, pretty much shrugged off Disney's lawsuit against him. No, because this is what these companies do, because they're not happy. The showdown between Governor Ron DeSantis and Disney continues after Disney filed a lawsuit against the governor amid its corruption. Attempt to indoctrinate children. The idea is that Disney decided to back the what they inappropriately went along with as the "Don't Say Gay" bill, which is on the fightbackmedia.com website. All you have to do is scroll down to the bottom of the first page, and there it is. It's 7 pages. You can read it for yourself. On Thursday, DeSantis hit back at Disney's lawsuit, calling it a political game with no merit. He said the giant corporation is unhappy now that it can no longer have any special power and is being forced to play on the same side as the other theme parks in Florida. They have historically, and this is true, been treated differently than Universal, SeaWorld, Legoland, you know, Dinosaur World, and all these other places. So now they're upset because they don't want to have to live by the same rules as everybody else. They don't want to pay the same taxes as everybody else. They don't want to be able to control things without proper oversight, which every other Floridian has to have this type of oversight. All Florida businesses, the same thing. Florida governor criticized Disney's complaints, mocking the idea that the corporation believes that the law is on their side. Earlier this week, Disney sued DeSantis and Central Florida Tourism Oversight District Board, accusing them of using government power against Disney in retaliation for expressing a political viewpoint unpopular with certain state officials. So as this escalates, DeSantis's allies have also taken aim at the House of Mouse by targeting the park's monorail system that the visitors use. Okay, here's what's happening. The Republican-dominated legislature proposed an amendment to a transportation bill. Now, I don't know if this is going to go through this week that would mandate state oversight of the monorail system, requiring the State Department of Transportation to oversee the monorail and other fixed guideway transportation systems located within an independent special district created by a local act which has boundaries within 2 contiguous counties. Disney. The bill will also allow the state to shut down the transportation system. DeSantis has expressed his support for the legislation. Now, if you've been to Disney, you know there's a monorail system. It's the only place in the world where a monorail system actually works. But what most people didn't know is that, like a lot of the rides at the fair, rides everywhere else, rides at every other theme park, are inspected by the state. All of them. So every fair that pops up, the South Florida Fair, the North Florida Fair, the Florida State Fair here in Tampa, the Hillsborough County Fair, the Leon County Fair. I mean, all these fairs, these rides are inspected by state inspectors that work for the Department of Agriculture. They just happen to be, because a lot of the fairs are agricultural fairs, and that's why. They've exempted the monorail system from any safety standards or inspections. So they're going to go and make sure that the monorail is subject to oversight just like everything else would be in the state of Florida. Well, this idea that the governor is going after Disney because he's mad at Disney is the truth is that Disney is just going to have to play by the same rules as everybody else. So I guess if you're going after them, if you are, and what you're asking them to do, what you're forcing them to do against their will, is just do what everybody else has to do. Who's that speak to? Does that speak to the mean-spirited governor who just wants Disney to do what Universal and SeaWorld and Legoland and Gator World and Dinosaur World have to do? Because that's all he's asking. Not anything more. There's no higher standard for Disney. Now it's just the same standard. But the fight between DeSantis and Disney looks like it's not going to slow down anytime soon. The Florida governor has vowed to stand in the way of their radical ideology and the children they are targeting. He has taken great lengths to protect minors from indoctrination as Disney aims to exploit them sexually. So the article says. So here we go. That's what's going on. Governor doesn't seem to give a crap because that's all that's happening is that he wants them to do what they're supposed to do. Now, they're saying their whole argument is that he's discriminating against us because he hates us and he hates our politics. He may hate you and he may hate your politics, but what he's asking you to do is just what everybody else is doing, what everybody else is forced to do. Yes, he may hate you and your politics. He might. But all we can ask you to do is to follow the same rules as everybody else. That's it. That's it. My name is Willie Lawson. This has been the Morning Report. Listen, we got to get out of here, make room for somebody else. So until we see you again, go out there and learn something, love somebody. And for goodness sakes, y'all take care of yourself. We will see you when we see you. Bye-bye now.